want to talk a little bit about fear and greed and the ties that bind. All of us have reason to be thankful that we woke up today. All of us have a reason to be appreciative that we've been given another day of opportunities. And for the moment, while we're talking together, or while I'm talking to you, I want you to think about today as a daily candle, like we all do in charts. When you woke and you got yourself out of sleep, whatever time that was, that started your day. That daily candle of productivity, what you're going to do, the most maximum level of productivity, that's the high of your daily candle. And the low of your daily candle is the least that you did. Now everybody, unless you're in depression, unless you're inebriated, intoxicated, everybody wants to have a bullish candle in life. Everybody wants to have maximum output, maximum results, maximum benefit, maximum yield for investment. But not every day provides that. Sometimes the narrative that we think our daily candle is going to unfold under gets disrupted, manually intervened, if you will. And at the end of the day, when you go to sleep, that closes your daily candle. My question to you is this. Last night when you went to sleep, did you feel like you were uneasy about anything? Did you worry about the high of yesterday's daily candle and your personal productivity? The things that you didn't do and the things that you did do. Now, for most people in trading, they're wrestling continuously with fear and greed. And those two pillars of adversity in every aspect of success, not just in trading. Fear and greed are two paralyzing enemies. They'll hold you back if you allow them. And so few in this world know how to master them, conquer them, and then use them as weapons at their disposal. I'm going to talk a little bit about that and how you can do that. But first you have to identify them as the adversaries that they are and where they do their most effective disruptions, where they hold you back, where they blind you, where they keep you from seeing opportunities, when they take from you. Like vampires, it sucks the life and the creativity and the passion and the hope and the direction and the desire to do anything at all. Because it's easily seen in trading more than anything else, the paralyzing grip that fear and greed implement. Think about today. You woke up. That started your daily candle. If you don't have a plan on what you're going to do today, before you woke up, you have no idea what you're going to do. You're going to be chasing price in everyday life. Whatever gets your attention right now, when you're younger as a child, like on a Saturday morning, it used to be every channel had cartoons. And you'd wake up and you'd run to the TV, turn it on, pull your bowl of cereal out in front of you, and just vegetate on channels, surfing, going from one channel to the next, looking at the next cartoon, the next thing. Sports fanatics on the weekend do the same thing. They jump from one thing to the next. What game? Here's my attention. Seize it, take it over. Steal my productivity. Today, you woke up. What plan did you have to implement to see the high of today's daily candle in your personal productivity at the highest level? What did you plan to do that with? What did you do yesterday before you went to sleep to give yourself something to strive for? And also be aware of where these two adversaries are going to be waiting to ambush you. Fear and greed. Sadly, most people in life, the unsuccessful individuals that relegate themselves to working for the man, Carl and the likes of them, for some people, that's okay. And guess what? If you're taking care of your family, there's nothing wrong with that. But I'm talking to an audience that sees beyond that as that's not enough. And that's not greed. Everybody should aspire to do better. Because if you're doing better, that means that you should be providing better for your family. And there's no sin in that. Your maximum productivity, the most that you could get done today, that is where greed is waiting to ambush you. I'll talk a little bit more about that in a moment. But the lowest productivity for today, the low of your daily candle, the least of which that you got done today, before you go to sleep and you close this daily candle, that's the least that you got done. In the 24 hours or whatever waking hours that you spend between waking and going to sleep today, that's your daily range. That's all you've given yourself time to do. And you have to submit. You can't control every aspect of life. Anyone that tries to do that, and I know this personally, when you try to master everything that's going to happen in your life, and you want to hold everybody else to the same regimen and the same schedule that you're forcing yourself to go through, that creates anxiety. You have to identify what you can control. You have to pick your shots in that daily range of time. When are you going to operate? How are you going to filter out all these things around your personal life, your relatives, your employees, your co-workers, co-students if you're in university, your spouse, your significant other, your children? Or like me as a pet parent, I have pets, I have dogs. They're like children that never grow up and they always have to be taken care of. So I have to manage my day with those things, encompassing how I'm going to do what I'm going to do. You have to plan for the manipulation, for things that just pop up out of nowhere. But you shouldn't be fearful that I might blow a tire. I might have an accident driving to work. I may have something go wrong with my plumbing. My water heater may go up. Nobody wakes up and worries about those things on the regular. But being someone that has a plan of action, should those things take place, you're not going to freak out. So you make a plan to do what you can when you can do it. That's your kill zones. That's your operating hours of your daily range. And you only worry about those primary functions and responsibilities during that time, and then you let go of it when you're done. You don't go onto social media and spend more time looking for opinions, looking for my satisfaction in the attaboy, attagirl, and the pat on the back. You find satisfaction in the fact that you spent the time that you allocated for, and then you spent the time productivity through the roof because you filtered out everything else. The low of the daily range for today, this is the lowest that you could possibly get done. Now, that's not a bad thing. That's not a bad thing. That's a today, right now thing. You may wake up and you had great aspirations to get things done. I want to clean the house. I want to straighten my office up. I want to put up a new trading system, new getup, new gear, new monitors, everything. I'm revamping everything. And then your wife or your husband says, honey, I need you to do. And that takes precedence over everything else, or it will start arguments. And you have to manage your life to keep those types of things out of it, because drama online is life-sucking, energy-sucking. And in your personal relationships, it will mess you up in your trading. It will completely wreck your focus. You will not be able to perform optimally because you know you have hurt the other person you're with, or you have left them to wait for your personal desire to be done and you're neglecting them. There has to be a balancing there. If you don't balance home life, trading life is going to suck. It's absolutely going to suck. But the low of your day today needs to be predefined. This is what I hope I get done at least. Remember, the maximum productivity, the things that you want to get done today, before you lay your head down to go to sleep, that highest point of the daily range for your productivity is the maximum things that you could get done, given that 100% you're dialed in, no distractions, no standing in the way, no obstacles. And greed is going to say, that's not enough. I got all my things done and I want to do a little bit more. And that's where greed's waiting to ambush you. You're not going to be content with enough because you didn't plan for enough. The low of your daily range is the least that you get done, and you're going to be content with that if you're thinking correctly. If you're not, what adversary is waiting for you at that reflection at the end of the day before you go to sleep? Fear. Fear is waiting to ambush you. It wants to take sleep and rest and contentment away from you because it's going to rise its ugly head and say, when you lay your head down tonight, yeah, you may have got this done. Yeah, you might have done that, but you didn't do this. Remember how you wanted to do this? Remember that one person on the internet that said you couldn't do something and you thought to yourself, I'm going to do it just to show them. And you didn't do it. You didn't do it. So you really didn't do enough, did you? And you're going to be fearful that in other people's eyes that don't really care about you, they don't want to see you succeed. They do not want to see you doing better than them. So they're going to try to take your attention away from what you should be focusing on. So you fail or you stay slowed down. And if you allow it, it'll steal your joy. It'll steal your contentment. It'll bleed over into the next day. And you'll worry about yesterday's daily candle. See, yesterday's daily candle had the same type of things. What you did yesterday at the highest level of productivity, that's your high. That's what you got done. But see, it flips here. Yesterday's most productivity, fear's waiting for you there. Same thing. You're going to feel like yesterday, what you did yesterday wasn't enough. Wasn't enough. And the low of everything that you got done, greed's going to say, you should have done more. You should have done more. Sure, you saw somebody online, they inspired you to take a trade. Oh, this guy on the internet's been pretty consistent about where he says it's going to go. Look at that. It went there. He stopped talking. He's no longer giving any opinion about what's going to happen. But I got time. My account's ready to be traded. Here, let me just go and do it. Because I didn't do enough. Instead of waiting for another day of opportunity. Not being impulsive. That's a superpower. Being patient. That's a superpower as a trader. Tomorrow's daily candle. Tomorrow's daily candle, much like we talked about today's candle and yesterday's candle for productivity. Tomorrow, what you're aiming to do is what you can do. Realistically, given all optimal things, all things being equal, nothing unforeseen that comes in and causes complete disruption, This is what you plan to do. And that's all that you need to get done. And you will have a good, productive, highly optimal outcome for the day. And guess what that does? If you limit yourself to what you know you realistically can do, you're not out here saying, I'm going to make 200 handles in NQ. I want to do it. And because I want to do it, I should be able to do it. You don't do that. Don't do that. You're looking for one good setup that your risk can be defined in low percentage, in high odds likelihood, low resistance liquidity conditions, waiting for time of day, aiming for easy draw on liquidity. It's obvious. And you get that and you stop. And you discover what contentment feels like. Because you hit your goal, your productivity goal, you made money, you managed risk, and no one can say anything bad about it. So why would you offer it to the social media? Nobody's going to agree with you that you should have just stopped there. Why didn't you trade at this point? Why didn't you hold on to it this long? Why did you only trade that many contracts? Why didn't you trade this market instead? That's what the enemy does. That's what he does. He creeps in there. Sounds like a friend talking to you, giving you advice, giving you a little nudge like, hey man, that was pretty good, but why didn't you do this? By aiming for what you can reach for and easily obtain, you conquer, you master, and subdue greed. That's tomorrow's problem. That's easily conquered by having a plan of action. The low of tomorrow's daily candle of productivity. That is where all your time-wasting things are going to be. And you need them to be at the lowest level of your attention, desire, or focus. That means X, Discord rooms, Instagram, keeping up with the Joneses. What level of drama is happening today? What did that guy say about that guy? What is she wearing today? How many times did she show her rear end? But she's still in the gym, but she ain't got her butt fixed yet. Hello? Typical ICT trader response. And when you master tomorrow's daily range of productivity, when you go to sleep and you close that daily candle tomorrow, you're going to sleep soundly. You're going to sleep so good because you wrestled every demon. You put them underfoot. Your boot is on their neck. Nobody can say you didn't do what you planned to do. Nobody can tell you that you had all the wrong plan in motion and you didn't execute. That's an easy way to fall asleep comfortably. You won't worry about yesterday's candle not being good enough. You didn't do enough. And because of that, you're going to feel like a failure. You're going to feel like you missed things. You feel like you didn't do enough. I'm not that impressive to people going on to social media and looking at me. If I reply to someone, they're going to ask me, what did you do? What am I going to be able to say? You say nothing to them. You don't pay their bills. You don't feed them. They don't do that for you. Their opinion doesn't matter. It does not matter. So many of you today, all of you, live by the moment to have approval from people that you don't care about and they don't care about you. But you're so uncomfortable because you're unorganized. If you make your day structured where your focus and attention is not allowed, it's not allowed to be diverted with nobodies. You're not giving opportunity, invitation to people that are broke, morally and financially broke, and you're allowing these people to speak to you, to speak into your existence and your time and steal from you. They're not robbing you. You're passing by willingly. You walk down that alley. They didn't even ask you for your wallet. You said, you know what you want? You look like you want all my stuff. Here, take it all. Take everything. You want my shoes? You want a wallet? Here's my ATM card. Here's my PIN number. Go to the bank. Enjoy yourself. Here's the keys to my ride. Enjoy yourself. That's what social media does. And you don't recognize it. But you let it discourage you. You let it depress you and steal from you and divert your attention from the things that you can do, from the things that you can accomplish that betters you. And that is not selfishness. That is not selfishness. It is absolutely dialed in, focused, principle living. You're saying, no, you will not have my time. No, you will not have my attention. You bring nothing to me. You don't build me up. I am not going to give you any more. And you simply turn them off. And you divert your attention to, what do you have to do right now to make tomorrow better than you are today? It's simple. See, everybody else that doesn't think like this, they look at yesterday, they look at that with regrets. Yesterday's full of regrets. I saw a student, I woke up this morning around 3 o'clock and I was going through the feed. And I saw a student say, I wish I wouldn't have taken that trade. I regret this. Never say that. Never say that. I'm glad I learned this from that experience. You lost on a trade that you took and you weren't being forced into it by impulsiveness. Look for the opportunity for you to be improving yourself. Never speak regret. That's another friend that will hurt you, that'll stab you in the back. That is not an ally in your vocabulary. You need to remove it when you're talking about your actions or your trading. To a retail trader, to someone that's unorganized, to someone that has no principle, no direction, yesterday is always regret. For someone that's organized, yesterday is intel and trade plans and key levels to be expecting to be used. See the difference? See the contrast? One's empowering, the other one demoralizing. It invites defeat. Today's candle in retail is confusion. They have no idea what's going on in the right end of that chart. That's the abyss. That is the dark closet where they know monsters live, like you and me. We devour them because they're stupid, willingly stupid. All this information is out there for free. They choose not to do anything with it, but they'll make jokes about it while they're still going to work or in unemployment lines. Make that make sense. But today, for an informed person, you have a plan of action. We know what we're doing, when we're going to do it, how we're going to do it, what we're looking for. Retail has no idea they're going to react. Well, if it breaks out, if it does something and starts running, then I'll chase after it. That's not informed money. That's herd mentality. That's casino mentality. That's lottery winning. That's cryptomania. Do this a lot, and then I'll think it's important, I'll chase after it and waste my money. To informed money, tomorrow is new opportunities. But for retail and people that are unorganized, tomorrow is unknown. And fear and greed grips them. Not you. Not you. Because you know when you're making time to do the things that you've made a plan of action for. I know what yesterday's daily high and low is. I can trade inside that range. I don't need it to do anything outside of the high of yesterday or below the low of yesterday. I don't need that. And I can carve out a bread-winning system to feed my family. You ever think about it like that? And say, I got to make a lot of money so I can buy a car and fit in with the clique. Everybody's showing cars. If I don't put out a picture of me buying a car or going in debt with a depreciating asset, then I'm not going to be looked upon as someone that's profitable. Let me tell you something. There's a lot of people on Instagram. They have lots of lease payments. They have lots of the things that they can't do financially to pay for unless they sell mentorships or they get the revenue from the things that they're doing. And I am not dumping on them. That is not the point of what I'm about to say. I'm saying that you're being trapped by the illusion. What's more important? You wasting hours chasing after what everybody else is doing on social media, thinking it's encouraging you, when it's really not. Because you want to be them. That means you're coveting their things. That's why I never show you my stuff. Because it doesn't matter. You're never going to drive my car. There's nobody ever drove my car. Ever. None of my boys have ever drove my cars. My wife has never drove my cars. Period. They're not going to help you. They're not going to help you make better decisions in your trades. They're not going to help you find the right fair value gap. They're not going to help you determine which fair value gap is going to become an inversion fair value gap before it even gets there. They would distract you. What I spend a week, where I eat, what I do, none of that's your business. Just like none of what you do is anybody else's business. How much you make is nobody else's business. You make $5 million in 16 weeks. You go out and show everybody. There are going to still be people, I would have expected you to have made more money than that. And this is somebody working at Dunkin' Donuts. And you're taking their opinion and you're carrying it with you all the way to bed. And it's in your head, swirling around, stealing productivity, stealing contentment. You need to focus on yourself. Master fear and greed. It's an easy thing, but you have to plan by pruning the things that steal from you. Your attention, your focus, they weigh you down. How many times a day do you think about things that have not lifted you up, made you excited about what you're doing? Contrast that with how many things you thought about that was depressing, focusing on drama. This person's getting this done to them. This person's talking about that one. This one can't do this. This one can do this better than that one. How does that have anything to do with your bottom line? How does that have anything to do with your productivity, except for making it less productive? How much is your time worth? I mean, really, what are you saying about your personal time? It's so cheap, inexpensive that you can just throw it around to all these nobodies, letting other people dictate and grade your productivity, where you are at, your progress, your prowess as a trader. These people don't matter. I don't matter. Once you learn how to do this, I don't want you to come back to my content. That's the whole point of how I teach. I don't tether you to me. I raise you up, teach you how to fly, and then I kick you in the rear end, boot you out the nest, and goodbye. Fly. You're not on an everyday payment system with me. You come here, you listen to me. If you get something of value, God bless you. Good. I hope it serves you well. That's all you're here for. Nothing extra. What can you take away to get your plan of action moving along more efficiently? How can I avoid making the same mistakes that ICT has made? That's why I talk to you in long-winded portions of the video, because you can't see the danger and the hazard just around the bend that you haven't got to yet. But I've been there multiple times. I have coping skills and procedures and protocols to avoid wrecking. You don't, because you've never been there before. But you want to say, you talk too much, bro. If I see that stuff, you're being blocked, because you're literally a waste of my time. I don't even want to look at your message. Just the fact that I spent a second looking at your nonsense is a waste of my time. Look around, folks. Look around. Is it expensive enough yet for you? I'm rich, and I hate how much things cost now. It sucks. And every time I go to the store, I think about all of you that are coming up in this. You haven't made it yet. If you learn to do it well right now, you're going to be so much more better than you ever imagined, because you're wrestling with things that everybody is wrestling with too. Making ends meet. Everybody's upset. Division everywhere. The, the procedure and the solution to that is cut it all out. Cut it all out. Focus on you and your family. Focus on development and leave it to that. You got to go ghost mode. Cut everything out. You're not on social media to talk to nobody. And there it is.